I did keto for 6 years straight, but in 2022, I hit a wall. I was dealing with huge stressors in my life and I started feeling drained, burned out, anxious, just not like myself. So I decided to step away from keto and I began incorporating more carbs. You see, being in ketosis is an hormetic stressor, a positive kind of stress that challenges your body. But when you pile on stress from diet, exercise, work, and just life, you can burn out. I think we often get too dogmatic about diets, sticking to routines as if we have to follow them forever. But life is constantly evolving, and being too rigid in any area can definitely backfire. So I realized I needed a break. I started listening to my body and focusing on intuitive eating, incorporating more carbs, working out less intensely, and actively finding ways to de-stress. And that was exactly what I needed. During this time, I learned how to cycle in and out of ketosis. I developed metabolic flexibility, which is the ability to switch between burning carbs and burning fat for fuel, depending on your needs. So how can you achieve this kind of flexibility? How do you shift from burning carbs to burning fat efficiently and set yourself up for optimal energy and health? Well, it starts with first knowing how to get into ketosis. Hi, I'm Ryan. I am your keto cousin. I am a keto coach and I'm a certified advocate through the Metabolic Terrain Institute of Health. I am passionate about helping men and women suffering from metabolic issues reclaim their health and vitality. Over the years, I've learned that my body thrives on a low-carb diet. I use keto as a tool. It's great for metabolic flexibility, for fat loss, for balancing blood sugar, and for giving me that high energy and cognitive clarity that I love. So after the holidays and to kick off 2025, I am jumping back into a ketogenic diet. Today, I'm sharing exactly how I plan to get into ketosis fast. No tracking, just lazy keto. So if you're new to keto, or if you just need a refresher on how to hop back on, this will be your guide for how to start. So let's dive in. So my first step is to eliminate carbs and stop any late night snacking. This first step is simple, but it's crucial. You need to drop your carbs from starches like bread, pasta, rice, desserts, and then stop eating late at night. Your main goal into getting into ketosis is to deplete your glycogen stores so your body shifts to producing ketones and using fat as fuel. When you drop your carb intake low, this will happen. So also when you stop snacking at night, you extend your fasting window, which helps your insulin levels reset and it speeds up ketosis. So my suggestion is to cut food off after 5 or 6 p.m. and not eat again until 7 or 8 a.m. the earliest. This will give you 12 to 14 hours of fasting, which helps to deplete your glycogen stores. So my second step is to load up on the right fats. So not all fats are created equal. And to get into ketosis quickly, you want to focus on poly and mono unsaturated fats like olive oil, avocado, macadamias, and fish. So these fats will convert to ketones faster than saturated fats. These are perfect for kickstarting your keto journey. Think of constructing meals like a big salad with fresh avocado and protein from salmon or chicken, drizzled with a high quality olive oil. So saturated fats like butter and coconut oil are also great on keto, but they may not help as much when you're trying to produce ketones quickly. So the third step for me is going to be to incorporate glycogen depleting workouts. So for the first few days, I'm going to do some full body resistance training where I'll incorporate movements like squats, push-ups, pull downs, and I'll add weights. And this is going to deplete my glycogen stores and help my body switch to burning fat for fuel faster. And after about 3 days, I should be producing ketones. And then I can switch to low intensity cardio like walking, rowing, cycling, which is going to encourage my body to utilize ketones as fuel. So for my fourth step, I'm going to make sure that I manage my electrolytes and avoid the keto flu. You guys, the keto flu is real, but it is definitely avoidable. So as your liver produces ketones, your body is going to excrete electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and that can lead to electrolyte imbalances. So it's super important to increase your electrolytes. I'm gonna add a quality magnesium supplement. I like Magnesium Breakthrough by Bio-Optimizers, taking about 400 to 600 milligrams, and I love sipping on bone broth and adding pinches of salt to my water. You could also use an electrolyte supplement like Element for added flavor and getting those electrolytes in. Please know that staying hydrated and mineralized is going to make a huge difference in how you feel. So my fifth step is to eat a lot of fiber-rich vegetables. So I don't love tracking macros because it's time consuming and really it's unnecessary for me. Instead, I just stick to low carb veggies, which I know will keep my carbs low and I don't need to track them. So fiber is your friend, especially during keto. It supports gut health and it can even boost ketone production. So it's hard to overeat foods like leafy greens, zucchini, broccoli. So if you stick to whole, unprocessed foods and eat above ground veggies, your carbs are going to stay low. So for me, each meal would look something like a big bowl of sauteed greens like spinach, cooked with garlic and olive oil, and I might top it with fried eggs or some other leaner protein. So my sixth and final step is to track progress. So you don't need to chase high ketone numbers, but tracking can help you stay on course. So when you're starting out, those ketone strips that you pee on are great for seeing if you are actually producing ketones, but once your body begins utilizing them, those strips will no longer be reliable. So I prefer to use a blood ketone meter. I have the Keto Mojo and I use it to track my glucose ketone index, also known as your GKI, which is the ratio of blood glucose to ketones. I will leave a link for how to calculate this in the description. So you'll want to aim for a GKI under 9 to know that you're actually in ketosis. But honestly, I like to focus more on how I feel than obsessing over the numbers. So here are some bonus tips for lazy keto success. You want to stay intuitive, listen to your body, eat when you're hungry, avoid processed keto snacks. Try to stick to real whole foods. It's the packaged foods that can lead to making mistakes and not getting into ketosis. You want to reevaluate your diet, your plan about every 8 weeks or so. So you may consider incorporating a small amount of clean carbs like a sweet potato or some sweeter fruit for metabolic reset. This helps to keep your body metabolically flexible and prepared for any situation that you might be eating occasional carbs. So keto is a powerful tool for weight loss, for mental clarity, for sustained energy, and it doesn't have to be your forever diet, but it's an incredible tool for balancing blood sugar and optimizing health, especially for those with metabolic disorders. So for me, keto is key to feeling good, to building metabolic flexibility, and getting results that last. So if you're ready to start your keto journey in 2025, check out my book, Metabolic Mastery. It is a step-by-step guide and journal, and it's packed with actionable prompts and tracking tools that are gonna help you stay on track. If you need some recipe inspiration, check out my playlist and let me know your questions in the comments below. I'll see you next time.